Welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're checking out a super light, super fast, and incredibly fun fat bike from Trek. One with a carbon fiber frame, 27.5-inch fat tires, and a whole lot of fun to be had. That's right, we're checking out this 2022 Trek Farley 9.6, and in this video we're going to go into the features and designs of this bike, talk about its crazy frame, and then of course we'll find out exactly what it weighs. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, I suggest you stick around and let's check out this bike together. To begin talking about the Farley, let's chat about what a fat bike is. So this being a fat bike means that it's going to have wider than 4-inch tires. The typical tire ranges is something somewhere between like 2.3 to 2.6 inch wide for a standard mountain bike tire, and then somewhere in that 2.8 to like 3.5 is what's considered a plus size bike, and then anything over 3.8 inches is going to be a fat bike. So this rig rocks a 27.5 by 4.5 inch tire. So just checking out my hand there, you can see just how big that tire is. And by having a huge tire like that, that allows the bike to be able to perform on snow, light pack like that, or even do really well, especially when you're riding trails that are leaf covered and have low traction. By having that extra tire volume, you can then run the tire pressure much lower. And in fact, in a snowy condition, you might be running this tubeless with say 4 to 6 psi up front and somewhere between like 6 and 10 psi in the back. And so that's super low tire pressure, but with that big old volume, it's going to help the tire hook up and ride real well. And in the Farley series, they're going to have an aluminum frame in their Farley 5 and Farley 7. And then in carbon fiber, they've got this model, the Farley 9.6. So the 9.6 is using a OCLV mountain carbon frame, which is their lightweight carbon fiber frame. It's got a Haru carbon front fork, which of course is set up with a through axle in the front end, and spacing on a fat bike is going to be 15 millimeter diameter by 150 millimeter wide. So super wide spacing to be able to fit those big tires. And then in back, it's 12 by 197. But there's a really cool party trick with the Farleys, and that's going to be the sliding dropout. So this is a sliding dropout that allows 15 millimeters of fore and aft adjustment with the bike. And by doing so, that allows them to run a super wide range of tires, because as the wheel goes back, that means you can get a fatter tire in there, pull it in, smaller tire, but you get snappier handling. So this bike coming stock has 27.5-inch wheels with 4.5 tires, but you can run a 26-inch tire up to 4.8 inches, and then you can even run 29-inch plus size tires, meaning a 29er with a 2.8 or a 3.0 width tire. And that means you've got a huge amount of adjustability within the bike. Now, going further from that, the frame itself is set up with a hybrid of external and internal cable routing. So the rear brake is going to be all external. The dropper post runs external, then into the seat tube, which allows you to run a nice clean internal seat tube. And then the shift cable is done all internally on this bike. And that's nice to see all that stuff kind of wrapped up together. And then your cockpit wise is an aluminum handlebar with a 31.8 bar clamp and this blender stem, which allows the mounting of a light or your bike computer, whatever you want, right into it. And then you go back to the Arvada saddle mounted up on this dropper seat post. So this particular dropper is operated with a 1x, meaning we've got this thumb button here that you can press, and that's going to raise the dropper post up. Press it again with your body weight on, and the dropper post will slide right back down. And then moving into how the bike is powered, we've got a 1x12 drivetrain. So that means one ring up front. In fact, it's going to be a 30 tooth on this bike mounted up on this SRAM GX alloy crankset. And it goes to the back via a super wide range 10 tooth to 52 tooth rear cassette. So this cassette offers 520% range, which is roughly equivalent to a 2x10 system. So you're getting a huge amount of drivetrain range, and it's controlled via the SRAM GX lunar rear derailleur. So this has a clutch mechanism which helps keep everything run nice and quiet. It's a 1x specific, so you can't add a front derailleur to this, although it does have a mount up front to be able to add something like a chain guide or things like that. But this system is going to work really well to power the 27.5-inch wheels. And for most fat bikes, they typically run 26 by 3.8, 26 by 4.5, but this being a 27.5 by 4.5 means these tires are absolutely massive and have quite a bit more rollover capability than, say, a standard 26er. So this being the Barbagazzi model means that it's going to have the faster rolling, lower height tread blocks, although these tread blocks still have some serious siping inside of them, which that basically allows this kind of stuff to conform. So as you press it, it allows it to conform a bit to the terrain and also pack up with snow, because in a lot of cases, snow on snow is often the best grip. Now to slow the bike down, we're looking at some SRAM level brakes. So the level brake is one that I actually like a lot on a fat bike for a couple of reasons. First off, it's a direct impingement lever, which means it's going to be a real consistent brake feel. But the other thing is this rocks DOT hydraulic brake fluid. And what DOT hydraulic brake fluid does is it resists temperature changes really well. So compared to some things like the mineral oil brakes that you might get on some bikes, this isn't going to start gumming up or get the lever feeling heavy when it's cold. And down at the wheels is a 2-piston caliper, both on the front and the rear, operating 160 millimeter centerline rotors from SRAM. And our last thing to talk about is these Barbagazzi tires are rolling on some Sunringley Mulefoot 80 rims, which are 80 millimeters of internal width, tubeless ready, although out of the box this does come with tubes, but you can go ahead and put some tape on there and get this set up tubeless with tape, valves, and sealant. But the real neat party trick about this bike is the rear hub, which has 108 teeth of engagement. And what that means is it's a really fast engaging hub. It runs 6 pulls in the back. And if you take a listen, it sounds absolutely beautiful. Yeah, high engaging hubs make a huge difference, especially fat biking, because sometimes you're in a real sketchy situation where you need to just lighten off of the pedals or change your weight or just adjust where the pedal's going so that you don't slip out. And by being able to have that engage real quick, it makes a huge difference in the stability. So now let's go ahead and find out exactly what this bike weighs. The actual weight for the Trek Farley 9.6 in a size large with tubes comes in and weighs 29.78 pounds. Thanks for watching this video on the 2022 Trek Farley 9.6. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're at it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It lets me know you enjoyed the video, and definitely feel free to browse the channel because you can find more videos like this to check out as well.